Cashin Ward had everything the world claimed to admire. Wealth, brilliance, broad shoulders sculpted like a warrior, and a face that could have been carved from marble. Yet, despite all that, he lived in a world of silence. No woman wanted to be with him. Not because he was cold, not truly. Not because he was unkind. He was almost painfully gentle. But because of the rumors. Rumors that exaggerated everything about him. Rumors whispered with nervous laughter. Rumors that made women step back the moment they saw him, eyes widening before they muttered excuses and ran. He's too big, too much, too everything, people said, turning a man's natural body into a burden he never asked for. Cashin tried to pretend it didn't bother him, but loneliness clung to him like a second skin. His mansion echoed when he walked. His dinner table felt like a museum display set for guests who never came. And the women he tried to date never stayed long enough to know the real him. Lucien Vale, his closest friend, was the only one who dared joke about it. "Face it, Cashin," Lucien said over brandy one evening, "you're a rare masterpiece, and people fear what they can't understand." Cashin only sighed. "I don't want to be a masterpiece. I just want to be normal." But normal was something that he had never been allowed to be. And tonight, as he stared out the tall glass windows of his penthouse, the city lights stretching endlessly below him, Cashin wondered if he would ever be accepted. Not for his wealth, not for the intimidating image rumors painted around him, but simply for who he was. Little did he know, the woman who would change everything had just stepped into his world. Saraphina Rain pressed her palm to her chest as the city skyline rushed past her taxi window. She wasn't afraid, just hopeful. Hopeful that this new beginning would finally wash away the hurt she carried like a shadow. 3 months ago, she had been engaged. 3 months ago, she had watched her fiancé choose someone else. And 3 months ago, she promised herself she would rebuild her life one breath at a time. Now she was here, starting a new job as a private wellness therapist for elite clients. Her voice, calm and warm like honey, had always helped people relax. Her presence soothed even the most stressed minds, but nothing prepared her for the name on her assignment file. Cashin Ward, the billionaire no one wanted to work with, the man surrounded by whispers, the client every therapist before her had refused. Saraphina blinked at the folder, confused. "Why does everyone avoid him?" she asked gently. Her supervisor exchanged a knowing look with the receptionist. "Well," she whispered, "he's intimidating, very intimidating. Most people can't handle being around him." "Intimidating how?" she pressed. Another shared look, nervous, embarrassed. "You'll see." Most people, Saraphina knew, judged what they didn't understand. It didn't scare her, it only made her more determined. She believed everyone deserved compassion, especially those who received none. When her taxi stopped in front of the towering Ward Industries building, Saraphina stepped out and lifted her chin. She wasn't meeting a rumor, she was meeting a human being. Inside, she passed marble floors and security guards who stood stiff as statues. The elevator hummed softly as it carried her to the top floor. Her new life, her new client, and the man the world feared but she would soon come to understand. The doors slid open. Cashin Ward was waiting. The elevator doors parted with a soft chime, and Saraphina stepped into a penthouse office so breathtaking it momentarily stole her breath. Floor-to-ceiling windows framed the city like a living portrait. Everything was polished, modern, impossibly quiet. Then she saw him, Cashin Ward. He stood near the window, his back to her, tall and broad-shouldered in a charcoal suit that fit too perfectly. Even from behind, he radiated an intimidating presence, like someone carved from strength and solitude. When he turned, Saraphina's heartbeat stumbled. His features were striking, almost unreal. Sharp jaw, storm gray eyes, and a controlled expression that looked practiced rather than natural. But beneath that hard exterior, Saraphina sensed something deeper, something wounded. Cashin stiffened the moment he saw her. Another therapist, another person who would stare too long, blush too hard, and then run. "Miss Rain," he said quietly, voice deep but careful. "You're the new wellness specialist." "Yes," she replied, offering a gentle smile. "It's nice to meet you, Mr. Ward." He searched her face, waiting, no, bracing, for the moment she would look away awkwardly. But Saraphina held his gaze without fear, without judgment. She simply saw him. It unsettled him. "You read my file?" he asked. "I read what was relevant, but I prefer to understand people by meeting them, not by rumors." That made Cash blink. No one had ever said that to him. He motioned toward a sleek leather seat. "We can begin whenever you're ready." As Saraphina set down her bag, she noticed how his hands trembled barely, but enough for someone as observant as her to catch it. This man wasn't dangerous. He was scared. And for the first time in years, Cashin Ward felt something strange. Hope, because she hadn't run. Saraphina's first session with Cashin went smoother than anyone could have predicted. He answered her questions quietly, respectfully, and with a level of vulnerability she hadn't expected from a man the world painted as a monster. But the moment she stepped out of his office to fill out her report, the atmosphere shifted. Two female staff members stood near the reception desk, whispering so loudly it was practically an invitation to eavesdrop. "I give her a week," one said, rolling her eyes. "Wait until she notices the size." The other whispered dramatically, "Girl, please, I heard the last therapist ran out crying." They broke into muffled giggles. Saraphina stopped mid-step. Size? Crying? Running away? A cold realization hit her. This wasn't about his physical appearance alone. These rumors, these exaggerations, they had destroyed his image, his confidence, and any chance of normal interaction. She didn't want to listen, but their voices rose again. "He's too much for any woman. That's why everyone avoids him. Imagine being stuck in a room with him. Please, I'd faint or sprint." More laughter. Saraphina's stomach tightened, not with fear, but frustration. How could people speak so casually about someone else's insecurities, about someone they didn't truly know? She cleared her throat and stepped forward. Both women froze. "I don't think it's kind," Saraphina said calmly, "to spread rumors that make someone feel less than human." Their cheeks flushed with embarrassment. "We didn't mean—" "You did," she replied softly. "But I won't judge Mr. Ward by your stories." With that, she walked away, her heart burning with quiet determination. If Cashin lived trapped under the weight of rumors, then she would be the one person who met him with compassion, not fear. For the first time, Saraphina understood. Cashin didn't need therapy. He needed acceptance.
Cashin sat unusually still during their next session, his gaze fixed on the window instead of her. Saraphina instantly sensed the shift. Something heavy weighed on him. "Cashin," she said softly, "you seem distant today." He swallowed, jaw tightening. For a long moment, he said nothing. Silence stretched between them like a fragile thread. Then he exhaled. "You heard the rumors, didn't you?" Saraphina didn't flinch. "I heard people talking, but I don't believe gossip defines a person." Cashin's lips twitched bitterly. "Most people do. They always have." He leaned back, eyes shadowed with years of exhaustion. "Women avoid me, not because I'm cruel, not because I'm strange, but because of things they think they know about me. The moment I show interest, they look terrified, like I'm some creature. Saraphina's chest tightened. What they say hurts you. It shouldn't, he whispered. A grown man shouldn't be affected by rumors. But when it happens again and again, when every woman who's ever tried to date me leaves within hours, it becomes hard not to wonder if it's me. His voice cracked, barely, but she heard it. Saraphina leaned forward, her tone gentle yet steady. Cashin, people fear what they don't understand. That doesn't make their assumptions true. He met her gaze, raw vulnerability in his eyes. I'm tired, Saraphina. Tired of being reduced to something physical. Tired of being judged before I can even speak. Tired of pretending I'm fine when I'm not. For a moment, he looked young, almost fragile. She spoke softly. You're not what the rumors say. You're thoughtful, respectful, and kinder than you realize. Cashin blinked, stunned by her sincerity. Why aren't you afraid of me? He asked quietly. Saraphina smiled. Because I see the man, not the myth. And for the first time in years, Cashin Ward felt understood. From that day forward, something unspoken shifted between them. Cash became more relaxed during their sessions, still guarded, still careful, but no longer hiding behind the stone walls he'd built around his heart. Saraphina's presence softened him in ways no one else ever had. One afternoon, as she guided him through breathing exercises, Cashin's hand brushed hers accidentally. He froze. So did she. A spark, gentle but powerful, passed between them. Not inappropriate, not dangerous, just human. Warm. Unexpected. Cashin pulled his hand back immediately. Sorry, he murmured. It's fine, Saraphina said softly, though her pulse fluttered like wings. He cleared his throat, trying to steady himself. Most people don't want to be close to me. Saraphina tilted her head. Do you want people close to you? His eyes lingered on her face longer than usual. Only the ones who don't treat me like a rumor. Her breath caught. Throughout the session, Cashin kept stealing cautious glances at her, almost as if checking to see whether she would suddenly change her mind and retreat like all the others. But she didn't. She stayed fully present, fully calm. When she packed up to leave, the air between them felt charged in a way neither dared acknowledge. Saraphina, he began, voice low and uncertain. Yes. He hesitated, then said something so simple it nearly broke her heart. Thank you for not looking at me like I'm a problem. Her eyes softened. You're not a problem, Cashin. You're a person who's been hurt. He inhaled shakily, as if her words touched something deeply buried. As she walked toward the elevator, Cashin's eyes followed her, not with desire, but with something more delicate. Oh, safety. And the beginning of a bond neither of them could deny. The spark was there, and it was growing.
The storm rolled in without warning. Thunder cracked across the sky as Saraphina wrapped up their late evening session. Rain hammered against the penthouse windows, turning the city view into streaks of silver. Cashin walked her to the elevator, but the moment it opened, the lights flickered. Then the entire floor went dark. Saraphina heard Cashin's breath hitch, sharp, panicked, unguarded. Cashin, she whispered into the darkness. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, she heard the slightest tremor in his breathing. She stepped toward the sound. Are you afraid of the dark? His voice came strained. It's not the dark, just being trapped in closed spaces. I had a bad experience when I was younger. Saraphina gently reached for his hand. He flinched but didn't pull away. It's okay, she whispered. I'm here. The emergency lights kicked on minutes later, bathing the room in a dim golden glow.
Cashin's face was tense, his usual composure shattered. It was the most vulnerable she had ever seen him. "You don't have to pretend with me," she said softly. He swallowed. "I didn't want you to see this side of me." "Why not?" "Because people already think I'm too much, too big, too intimidating. Fearful is the last thing I want to be." Saraphina squeezed his hand. Being human is not a weakness. A heavy silence lingered between them, warm, fragile, real. The storm worsened. The building security guard radioed up, advising her to stay until the streets were safe again. Cashin looked at her, conflicted. "You don't have to stay if it makes you uncomfortable." She shook her head. "I'm not leaving you like this." His eyes softened with something deeper than gratitude, something tender. In that dim light, as thunder rumbled outside, Saraphina realized Cashin didn't just trust her, he needed her. By morning, the storm had passed, leaving the city washed clean and glittering under the early sun. Cashin insisted on making Saraphina tea before she left. A simple gesture, awkward but sweet, like he was trying to show gratitude without overwhelming her. It was the first time she saw him smile without hesitation. But peace never lasted long in Cashin Ward's world. The moment Saraphina stepped into the lobby, a crowd of paparazzi and bloggers burst through the doors like a wave. Cameras flashed, microphones were shoved toward her face. "Miss, are you the new woman in Cashin Ward's life? Is it true you spent the night with him? Did he scare you like he scared the others?" Security rushed her inside, but not fast enough to prevent the storm of accusations. Cashin, watching from above, felt his stomach drop. By noon, headlines exploded online. Mysterious woman seen leaving Cashin Ward's penthouse after stormy night. New therapist tries to handle the billionaire people fear. She stayed the night. Did she survive the rumored giant? Every headline twisted the truth, dehumanizing him all over again. Inside his office, Cashin paced like a caged animal, jaw tight, eyes stormy. "I knew this would happen," he said bitterly when Saraphina returned. "You shouldn't have stayed. Now the world will tear you apart because of me." Saraphina met his gaze firmly. "I'm not afraid of the world, and I'm not ashamed of helping you." "You should be," he muttered. "People will twist everything. They always do." She stepped closer, voice strong and steady. "Let them talk. I know who you are. Their noise can't change that." He stared at her, really stared, as if seeing her for the first time. Someone not running, someone not mocking, someone choosing him. And that terrified him, because he wanted her to stay.
Cashin had spent most of his life preparing for people to leave. It was easier that way. Expect nothing, lose nothing. But Saraphina didn't leave. She showed up the next day with the same warm smile, the same calm eyes, as if the world hadn't tried to twist their story into something ugly. As if she wasn't shaken by the headlines. As if she had chosen him and meant it. Cashin watched her unpack her notes, but he wasn't listening. He was studying her face, searching for fear, doubt, regret. He found none. Finally, he spoke, the words rough and unfiltered. "You should be angry with me." "Why?" she asked. "For putting you in the spotlight, for the rumors, for the whispers about my size, for everything." Saraphina set her notebook down and walked toward him until she stood just a breath away. "Cashin," she said softly, "I'm not afraid of you. Not your height, not your strength, not your reputation, not the rumors, none of it." He swallowed hard, his voice barely steady. "But every woman before you, I'm not every woman." Her tone was gentle yet firm, like sunlight breaking through clouds. "I don't care what size the world thinks you are," she continued. "I care about your heart, your kindness, the way you try so hard to protect everyone but yourself, the way you hide your pain because you think it's too heavy for anyone else." Cashin's breath hitched. "Nobody has ever accepted me," he whispered. "Not all of me." Saraphina reached up and touched his hand, grounding him. "I do," she said. "Every part of you. Your fears, your past, your scars, your strength. I accept all of it." His eyes glistened. Something rare, something raw. And in that moment, Cashin Ward realized Saraphina wasn't just someone who stayed. She was someone who chose him fully, completely, unconditionally. The weeks that followed were unlike anything Cashin had ever experienced. No whispers, no fear, no judgment. Just Saraphina, steadfast, patient, and unafraid. They spent evenings in quiet conversation, mornings in gentle laughter, and afternoons simply existing in each other's presence. The rumors still lingered outside the walls of Ward Industries, but inside they didn't matter. Cashin realized he had been living in a shadow of assumptions for too long. Saraphina had shown him what it meant to be truly seen, truly accepted. One evening, as the sun dipped below the city skyline, painting the room in gold, Cashin took her hand and looked her in the eyes. "You've changed everything," he whispered, "not because of who I am, but because you see me." Saraphina smiled, a warmth that reached into his chest. "I see the real you, Cashin, the man behind the rumors, the man who's kind, loyal, and deserving of love." For the first time in his life, Cashin didn't need to hide. He didn't need walls, rumors, or excuses. He only needed her. Together, they walked through the penthouse, the city lights below a witness to their connection. Every glance, every touch, every shared smile whispered one truth. They had found safety in each other. And when the world tried to label him again, Cashin didn't flinch. He didn't need validation from strangers anymore. He had Saraphina, the woman who chose him, the woman who accepted him fully, the woman who made him believe in love without fear. For the first time, Cashin Ward was free, not just of rumors, but of loneliness. And as they stood side by side, watching the city sparkle, he knew one thing for certain. Some stories weren't about overcoming obstacles. They were about finding the person who sees you completely and never lets go. The world could whisper all it wanted,